everybody for coming today. I'm going to try to get through this without crying. It's not working very well right now. I'm going to have to read what I wrote because otherwise it won't stay on track. This is a celebration to recognize Olga's life. And I know my mom right now, excuse me, would be very impressed. You know, she'd be with her typical smile going, oh yeah, okay. And I know you meant a lot to her, and that's why we have such a beautiful turnout, as she to you. I would like to also thank you very much for your wonderful cards, your donations, and your caring phone calls that you've been giving us. It means a lot. The support is tremendous. This is also being recorded, and we're going to have a YouTube link so that our friends in Chicago and New York and Massachusetts and Germany will be able to participate in today's event. I would also like to recognize the life and passing of Tom's father, Pat Arnold, who passed away on Sunday, July 8th, 3 weeks after the passing of Olga. He was admitted to the hospital 2 days before my mom's passing with a bout of pancreatitis and unfortunately eventual heart failure. He will be forever missed. It was a very trying time for both of us to lose parents in such a short period of time. I'd also like to give my condolences to those of you who have lost someone this year also. It's 2012 needs to go fast. And we'd like to take a moment of silence, and Tom will lead us into the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Jesus, I said that my whole life.
As you see, we've had our little slideshow. Just wanted to give you a little background. My mother was born as Olga Lehman on a Wednesday morning in 1935 to a young single mother in Oberndorf, Black Forest. She was raised by a loving grandmother who let her get away with almost everything since all her children were already grown. My grandmother, Kate, later married and moved her new family to Stuttgart, where my mother learned the trade of textile and retail. This was where she met her first group of lifelong friends, Ingrid, Maria, Hannelore, Helga, and Margaret. Margaret, with whom she eventually immigrated to the United States. She was one of the lucky few who flew on one of the last Lufthansa four-prop Super Constellation in a new suit with one suitcase in hand and $100. That was in 1959. The advent of the jet age was right following. She was sponsored by an American doctor's family as an au pair in Chicago for about a year. When she was given another opportunity to work with her girlfriend Hannelore's newly divorced sister-in-law with 3 young children, Tracy, Bruce, and Bradley. They're like my extended family. They too remain lifelong friends, and their mother, Barbara, turns 90 next month. Margaret and Olga were roommates and liked to go out dancing to the big band music of Duke Ellington, Glenn Miller, and Tommy Dorsey. One day in March of 1961 is where it all began. And I hand it over to you, Dad.
Thank you again for coming to attend this get-together here. Yes, In 1960, Olga lived on the north side of Chicago, and I lived on Lawrence and Broadway, not the best neighborhood, but that's where you live when you come in as an immigrant. So there is a little joint called Cafe Berlin, and that was my hangout after we closed down the restaurant downtown around 9 or 10 o'clock. And one evening I went over again and went with a couple of ladies that were allowed to come with me because they were the landlord's daughters. And the landlord's daughters were a little bit built like this. I had to take them along. And Olga came in the second time, and she was a little upset, was putting it not mildly. She said, "You stood me up last week, or a couple of weeks ago." I said, "No, I didn't. You gave me the wrong phone number." Well, Olga had called that phone number and was told, "Well, you're not the first one who calls this number. This lady probably doesn't want to go out with you." So here comes Olga the next time, and she says, "Yes, you just stood me up." And I said, "Don't, we figured it out. They got a new number too. They were changing IDs up from November. But we had prefixes before with all numbers. There was ID 2 and ID 3, and they mixed them up and who knows what. So here we go, and I asked her if at least we can dance together. Yes, we did, and we did more than dancing because not much longer, her and I got engaged in Chicago. Now, you know all my trips and travels, especially from the Hilton people. I've been everywhere and nowhere. The job became open at the LA Hilton. Oh my God, 1,200 room hotel, convention hotel, hey, busy hotel, something forward to look for. So I said, "Olga, you want to come with me to California?" Yes, but there's the H to it. I said, "Does it have to be right away?" She says, "No, I'll give you a break." So the two of us drove out to California. By the time we hit San Bernardino, we had 4 new tires on it from 4 different manufacturers. Because they sure didn't last in August. Don't you ever drive through August in the desert. So later on, Olga found a job at Saks Fifth Avenue. The ladies know what shop that is, and it's a very nice shop. And I enjoyed my job at the LA Hilton. And like I said, things come around, and all of a sudden somebody says, Gantz, they are building this new hotel in San Francisco, and they have a job open up there. I said, "Really?" I said, "Let me talk to her first." So I said, "Okay, you ready to go again?" Yes, we packed up and moved to San Francisco, and I worked for Henry and Porter. And then afterwards, something else came around. We built the largest hotel in the world, to Chicago, and we moved back to Chicago. So we didn't like it there as much, of course, and so we went from one place to another. Eventually we hung up because Werner was retiring, and I had the luck to come out here and get the final GM-ship for Hilton there at that time. And Werner stayed friends. My God, how many years is it, Werner? We don't even know. Many. I would say at least 15, 17, something like this. So we've been along in many places. And after retiring from our Belmont friends that came here today too, where we lived 18 years, believe it or not. And we hope that they eventually gonna get a new garage door. A new garage door. You gonna get one?
She just had it passed, you got 8 or 9 people signed up
Now,
now.
couldn't you have done it a little earlier? So these are the things, of course, the funny part of it. Other friends here, like from Hillsborough and so forth, come